Oh,
You'll see something funny.
fluorine oxide?
The EPA reveals 70 million people have drinking water that tested positive for toxic forever chemicals. The average bottle of water contains 240,000 pieces of cancer-causing nanoplastics. Find 90% of all burgers, steaks, chicken, and even the so-called healthier plant-based foods contain microplastics.
You also get it from seafood like fish, oysters, shrimp.
Americans consume more than 11,000 microplastics every year from our food. It's reported that's an average of 5 grams of microplastic every week, the equivalent of a credit card. The latest source of plastic ingestion is drinking water. Researchers at Columbia University found the average liter of bottled water contains more than 240,000 nanoplastics.
This invisible enemy, microplastics, lurk in the very essence of our survival, water. So minuscule yet so pervasive, these tiny plastic particles have made their way into our groundwater, the hidden reservoir that quenches the thirst of more than half the global population. Imagine this. Countless tiny fragments of plastic broken down from larger pieces flow from our homes, our cities, our landfills, and seep into the ground. They hitch a ride with rainwater, sneak in with the wind, and even tag along with sewage. This is no science fiction tale. This is the reality of our groundwater today. Understanding the scale of the problem is the first line of defense. Next, we can rethink our relationship with plastic, opt for reusable items, refuse single-use plastics, and recycle whenever possible. Finally, we can spread the word. Share this knowledge with others, spark conversations, and inspire action. Together, we can safeguard our groundwater, our ecosystems, and our health from the threat of microplastics.
So, welcome to the Dr. Jane Ruby Show, and welcome to my Friday Natural Health Series. About a month ago, we talked about the issue of microplastics, introduced by one of our natural health experts. The problem is more immediate and more widespread than most of you can imagine, as indicated by the opening clip you just saw.
No, we're drinking more
Tonight, we're going to get a little bit deeper
water and
into the
more
topic of
plastic
the proliferation and the
bottles
ubiquitous
than
nature of these
we were doing
invisible
before.
poisons that carry with them unlimited types of chemicals and other toxic elements like metals. These are what are called forever toxins because they never break down, they never weaken, and in fact, they tend to concentrate throughout the body, setting us up for all kinds of illnesses and conditions. Here are a few facts. When we're talking about microplastics, we're talking about invisible microplastics, which are tiny plastic particles, too small to see with the human eye. They can be found in the air, water, and food, and they can have negative impacts on human health and the environment. Microplastics are plastic particles that are generally less than 5 millimeters in diameter. Nanoplastics are microplastics that are smaller than 0.001 millimeter in diameter. Microplastics can come from many sources, including your clothing, cosmetics, and the breakdown of larger plastics. Well, the topic was first brought to the Dr. Jane Ruby Show by the founder and the owner of the Loxahatchee Co-op and the Quantum Collective, Jonah Bowles, who joins us tonight for this deeper dive and some suggestions for how we can protect ourselves. Jonah, welcome back to the show. I wanted to lay a foundation first for the audience, and I didn't mean to paint a doom and gloom picture, but if these are forever toxins, then the answer is really to escort them out of the body as best we can and as much as we can. And you've brought some of the solutions to us previously. But first, let's talk tonight about some of the incredible information you've brought through the materials. We're going to go through
that's right.
the show tonight. So welcome.
Detoxification.
Thank you, Dr. James.
Yes.
As always, good to
Yes.
be here, and a very important topic to talk about tonight. And not many people are attacking it, so we're super happy and excited to go over everything that we put together for the show.
Yeah, because the last thing we need are more pharmaceuticals or, more chemicals to try to treat this. And I don't think people understand how tiny they are. They're invisible. If something's invisible, it's still a danger. So let's go through through some of the materials you brought, because this broadened my understanding of the problem. Your materials and our discussion a few weeks ago was a great introduction, and I think it got everybody thinking about it. This is much deeper. So help walk me through it, and let me know what you want to start with first. You've got some great.
Sure, yeah. So, you can always start with a study. I'm very big on what you are too, is looking at the data, the research that backs up everything that we say in the show. This first study from AAMC is posted here that microplastics are inside all of us, right? And not just us, it's our animals, and we're talking micro, we're talking even down to the nano level. And what studies have shown now is that we are absorbing these toxic, plastics and chemicals from all different avenues. We're inhaling them, we're eating the food, you're drinking water in a plastic bottle, it heats up, so the plastic comes off, we're drinking them, even just absorbing in our skin. They have been found in clouds, they have been found in grass, in the oceans, at the bottom of the ocean, at the top of the oceans, at the North Pole, the South Pole. So we are living talking, this is an epidemic, and it is spread far over the planet, and we have to start paying attention to this. I haven't seen anybody, zero people in our industry that tell me about this, talking about these I'll just keep going.
Yeah, watch.
Sorry, Mister.
Okay,
Dad is
I'll
watching
rewind.
about toxic.
I know, I want you to see this.
Okay. Oh,
I'm not leaving shards of metal inside the food, like you're going to do.
Watch this.
And it cuts around and then it's down.
Metal in your food, it's getting rust in your food,
And all,
sharp edges.
sure, and maybe tomato paste.
Watch it.
Sometimes I use a spoon or 2 spoonfuls of this to put in the sauce. I can take the lid and put it right back on top. Now, I'm not.
Watch it.
So that can be like,
Watch it.
and then you use half of it, put this down, and then when you need it, just pull the lid back off. So it's such a great thing to have, and use this all the time. And of course, it's the 6-in-1. So let me know a can again if you're wondering how this works. Because I'm not going sideways here. When you get this home, you go right over the top. Once you grab it, and you set it down, and you pick it up, and you're going to do a full circle, and you'll do it like that. And what you're doing is you are basically reversing the process of canning. I went backwards, and I'm going to lift the lid like that, and I've opened that can without any sharp edges. You're not going to rip your bag of your trash can. The water chestnuts.
It's potatoes.
I love them, they're so good.
Okay.
Now here's what happens
Do
here.
this one, full taps, okay? So just like this, you're gonna open that up.
Sliced
pull that
potato.
cap right off of there.
That was
These things can get funky, sometimes dangerous, if you're like, go! Get in there! Number 3, here, a pile of liquid. We all speak the same language. We do. All around the world. Okay. Here we go. Donuts.
watch it. Watch this.
Okay.
Oh boy,
Well, hey, it opened it. I could. There.
I've had it.
You know,
That was funny.
oh my God. Okay. On TV, everybody. It works. I just thought it makes it busy. Oh, look.
I do want one of them. I couldn't think of it.
Okay. Hey, you know what? Okay, you okay? This is why we wear black chest coats. Oh my God. Why don't you go shower off real quick? I'll finish this whole segment.
Is that it?
That's it. That's it, yeah.
That was,
Oh, God, that was amazing.
that what you want me to see?
Yeah.
Close the door, I can't hear TV.
Okay, sorry.
3 months, beach around the world to the US. So you're talking, out to sea for 3 months. I can assure you that the bottle got hot in the sun at some point and expanded or contracted. Again, Fiji, the powers that be know that that water expands and contracts. So again, this is all planned. They know what's going on. So like, we have to be, very vigilant with our choices here of what to buy because we're in a toxic environment. So you gotta watch the waters, clothes you wear, sheets you sleep on, you sweat on, all of that is a blurry mess.
Yeah, I agree, and, you do walk the walk because you and your family are almost always seem to be in linen or, cotton, and I know it's probably organic, so I'm trying to follow suit, and for the last couple of months have totally transformed, the bedding in my guest room as well as my room into pure, organic, linen, authentic linen, and it's not rough, I think people need to get used to it, but it actually is a better vibration, and, I think it adds to great sleep. Okay, what's the next, you have another study that I thought was really interesting, let's take a look at that, what your thoughts are.
Yeah, so the next study that we found, and I know you're showing it on the screen here.
Scary picture.
Yeah, this study, I mean, just look at the picture exactly. You're going to see not only the plastics, but you can see chemicals on it, ink, all these different, nano-sized, little teeny, you hardly even see them. And this is a super good picture. It's a great picture. That's why I picked this article so the listeners can see. We're talking, you're breathing this in. You're walking through Walmarts and Targets and you get that smell of like clothes section. You're smelling something. You're most likely feeling what you're smelling. We all know that. You're smelling gasoline, you're absorbing your yes. You're going through the clothes section of Target. This stuff, they make it so nano-sized and they're so unpacking clothes, packing on the racks. There's so much movement. There's so much stuff in there. There's no air filters in Walmart or Target, right? So you're walking through literal clouds of these plastics, in my opinion. I mean, there's nothing cleaning up the air in those places, right? So you have nano-sized stuff. And what this study goes into is linking serious health issues. And we talked about this in the last show, which is one of the best shows, because again, no one is talking about this issue. That more than 50% of people that have had a heart attack have had microplastics in their arteries.
Right, I remember that now, yes.
Right? I mean, like, this is
Jeez.
harmful, like, major diseases. This is not just like, oh, we're getting rid of plastic. And we'll show something in a minute here, but we're finding plastic in hair follicles. Oh my God, there's enough plastic in your body that when you grow your hair, the plastic is already in your hair from growing from your body. I mean,
Jonah, the jab, they're always asking me, and I'm sure they ask you, the people you come upon, because of your focus on, natural health, they're always asking, what can I do, what can I do? You know something? This is one of the things you can do, is to get this stuff out of your system.
Yes.
And what you're seeing in this picture, the visible pieces on the fingers, those are microplastics, but remember in the intro, I said to all of you that then you go down to the nano level, which is only observable in an electron microscope. It's 1/1000th of the size of this, so there's no way you're gonna see it. And so here's the problem, Jonah. The health issues that are so across the board, just like with the jab, which are filled, with dangerous metals and chemicals, but they're so across the board that it's not easy for people to ascribe them or blame, the environment or the plastic bottles or the jabs. And so you don't know, which direction to go in, but we're gonna talk about some of the things to do in their home, some things they can do to, like, I like the word escort, like, just escort these poisons, just get yourselves out of here, can't break you down, like your liver can't break it down, but minimize the amount in there. So I don't know if you wanna say any more about this study, you know.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, the bottom line is that we're under attack. I'm a huge advocate of that every month, me and Ariana, the family, we change what we detox. 1 month we do this, 1 month we do the blue, 1 month we do this. And I say this on a lot of shows, and it's the best advice I can give. Always be detox. You can't take all this stuff at once. You can't take all these different products at once. You gotta cycle through, but you can't even identify it. There's toxins everywhere. The food, the water, the air. So you gotta be vigilant with just having a regimen like this month or two I'm gonna detox this month or two I'm gonna do this. This study goes into showing it's in your blood vessels, it's in your organs. And I'm sure in the next section we'll show a really interesting graph that you mentioned as well that really shows your viewers where in the body these plastics are conglomerating at, and you'll see it's throughout. I mean, so you know,
Well,
just be very vigilant.
let's go there. That's a perfect segue. Before we go to break, we still have time. You're talking about the distribution of microplastics across the body. Let's take a look. I want people to see some things here, but you introduce it, and then I have a couple of questions and comments for you. So,
This chart here, the distribution of microplastics in your body. Everywhere, like I said, from the hair to your saliva, your lungs, liver, mother's breast milk, your sweet feces, and the placenta. We talked about that last time. Your colon, blood. It's across the board. It's basically everything. You can't escape it. Everything from the placenta to your hair follicles. And then these also get trapped over time, which is why that study you just saw is relating it to different heart attacks, heart disease, because these plastics also clog arteries. They clog fluids. They're down in your feces. They're down in the placenta, not allowing fluids and nutrients to get to the baby. That was the article I think we showed last time. It's like how many mothers and the placenta have found microplastics. It's almost all of them. So this is a huge problem, and again, I haven't seen anyone really, attack me for putting out something. So that's why I'm really grateful, blessed to be here, and everyone, all your listeners, can really take heed of what we're saying here. This is a big problem issue. It's linked to major diseases and ailments. So just know that this is like under the radar, but no one's talking about it. I've never seen a product on the market talking about microplastics out of.
We are America's beverage companies, making American products with American workers in America. So
They have a website, visit drgroovy.com, right? So,
Yeah. This is like, not new though, several months old.
oh, it is. Good to warn people ahead of time.
Detox. So this is super important
Well, they
topic.
keep
I
these
said this last time.
hard
Groundbreaking,
tests
Dr. J. There's
on
no one
rubber
talking
back
about
in forever.
this. First shows I've
I
seen
just scanned through
anywhere
and
talking
see
about detox
what kind of shows she had.
Absolutely. There's so many things we've been distracted away from, as we now know, so many lies since the turn of the century. Before we move away from this though, Jonah, I want to point out a couple of things. I'm an analyst. I've, worked in the pharma industry. We have to analyze a lot of results and data.
I think you sell
and then
some kind
try
of
to, interpret
pills that
differences and things
gets
like
the
that. The thing that jumps out at me, and I want the audience to look on this chart.
You remember the name of it?
To look at the
Yeah,
whole
they're probably
numbers,
gonna
right?
mention
So
it, man. Just
anything
let me
that is
know
a whole
when
number
they say
before
that.
the decimal point is a whole
He
number.
makes,
So
he
it's
makes
a
the campers right there in that room.
amount. So
Oh,
when
that
I'm looking
guy,
at
the
this, I'm
glasses.
looking at, for example,
Yeah,
number one,
somebody's
upper left
working.
there.
And some of his workers.
3.5. No, forget about the unit of
Okay.
measurement, just, that's our point of reference. But you said the hair was loaded, okay, so compared to some of these other areas, that doesn't mean that these areas are not, implicated. But let's just say for the next one, saliva was 0.33, so it's literally a tenth of what's in the hair. Now, this is because hair accumulates, the follicles and the circulation. So I want to point out a couple other things. Your sputum, right, that comes up from your, lungs, when you cough up some phlegm or some of that, that's sputum. That's almost two, a whole number of two. So that's a huge area, but the lungs should jump out at you. And Joni, you did say, when you're smelling it, you're breathing in it. And the lungs, we are filtering and filtering and filtering this poison all the time. That's almost 10, it's 9.18. And that's the alveolar lavage fluid. That's the liquid that keeps your alveoli, the little grape, sort of looks like grapes at the end of your airway, down in the bottom where your air exchange happens. That's the highest. I mean, the lungs itself looks like, general airways, much better than the actual, but you get into the alveoli, that's when you're impairing gas exchange, or when you are exchanging gas, maybe those gases, you're giving up your CO2 and taking in your O2, maybe those gases then become burdened and they're carrying on their molecule these metals. I'm not sure how that works. But then liver, because the liver's probably somewhat low, at least in this snapshot, because it's constantly trying to cleanse. But over time, that liver amount is going to be really high. And then you go to the placenta, that's almost, 0.10. That's concerning. It's in the infant. Well, I'm just comparing these numbers, Jonah. And then the blood. I don't want to miss that part. You've been talking about the blood vessels, especially from that first study. It's a 1.6. So whenever you've got a whole number compared to the other areas, so your blood is just, and what's your blood? It's a transport system, right? So any other thoughts you have on this? I'm sure you do.
Yeah, I mean, you can see across the board, to even have 3.5 in your hair is a red flag to me. We are filled with these plastics that your hair is even growing full numbers. So that's a red flag to everyone watching this. Please, this is something we want everyone to spread to their family, to their children. This is a big, big, big problem. We have to address it. We have to be vigilant. We have to detox it, and start living as healthy lifestyles as we can by doing that. We have to detox. So this chart, again, is backed by studies. It's backed by lots of data you can find online. Just like you always say, do your own research, go online, and learn this stuff. It's really shocking how much is out there, but nothing's being done about it.
100%. Yep, and that's a good point. You can corroborate this. You should be corroborating everything we and everybody else presents. So, Jonah, it's time to take a quick break. When we return, we've got a couple of other great visuals that Jonah's going to share today, and we're going to talk about some practical steps, like what you can do in your house. Because when you look around, we're in a sea of plastic. So don't go away. I'll be right back after these important messages. This is Dr. Jane Ruby with a very important message about your health. The earth beneath your feet provides you with food and water and something else very surprising: electrons. When you touch the ground with your bare feet or body, the electrons flow into you, and this is called grounding. It's an unending supply, and it's important to your health, but it's not always easy to get. I mean, who's got time to stand outside barefoot for hours at a time? It's still important, though, to receive the charge of energy in the form of free electrons, which your body will synchronize with the natural frequencies of the earth. Modern life has disconnected us from so much contact with all the good in the earth, and that's why I bring you Earthing, founded by Clint Ober, whose company, Earthing, brings you all kinds of products that are like extension cords to connect you to the earth. Greater recovery from working out, a deeper, richer sleep, a noticeable reduction in inflammation and pain. Please use the link you see on the screen or below in my link stack. The modest commissions from your purchases of these life-giving products goes to support the Dr. Jane Ruby Show and continues Truth in Medicine. Do you know what my saving secret is? Well, I discovered how gold acts as a hedge during unprecedented economic times. I also learned how important it is to diversify my retirement savings, and there's a great way to do it. But you need the education to be a smart consumer of physical gold and silver. When you contact my partners at Augusta Precious Metals, the first thing they will do is set you up with a free personal webinar. Do you know what a spread is and how it can save
What are we gonna do?
It will cost you a lot of money in the long run? I didn't.
Rely on
But
God.
I surely understood
Take care of
the
us.
silver investment
I mean,
process.
you saying we're broke?
At the end of my 30
I heard mine invest in gold. What if I did buy a bunch of gold and so I sold it?
Yeah, that wouldn't be good then.
To help you understand
So I get it now.
Transactions work. Augusta Precious Metals has
I get it now.
a buying system.
We won't get it then.
30-minute webinar will prepare you to
I
decide
got
first
that
of
money
all
to buy a
if
big
gold
safe,
is
and
right
then
for
have
you.
to do the safe for him.
What's the right amount for
I got a
great
small safe.
retirement savings?
But we can't tell
that you should
anyone
put
about
into
it.
the metals? And they have a great aftercare department.
But we can't tell anyone about it.
Call Augusta today.
So I guess forget it then, because they're gonna steal it.
890. Or click on the
At least you
link
have
below
to
to schedule your
turn it
free
back in to send you a
webinar
wire
today.
from,
Yeah,
get money back.
that's what you can do if that happens.
Think of it.
Well, welcome back to the second half of the Dr. J. Ruby Show in my natural health series.
It happens to other people, I'm sure.
Who's the owner and founder of the Loxahatchee Co-op in South Carolina.
That's what you were talking about earlier. Having your own garden.
Yeah.
Must check it
That
out.
would help out, though.
Putting
Oh,
it
garden?
throughout, and so we're doing
You got a garden?
plastic. So Joe, when we left off, we're talking about the distribution chart where these
That kinda
plastics are
helps.
so small you can't even see them.
To make it,
But concentrated in the body, let's just talk a little bit more about the effects and why should we care? The average person's going, okay, I've been inhaling this for years, look at me, I'm fine. No, you're not. So, take us through what you got here. You got an
Yeah,
effect?
let's throw that chart up, perfect segue, the effects of microplastics in the body. Now, as everyone can see on this chart here, and we touched on some of these, but really take a look at the different ways that microplastics, where they come from, plastic bottles, baby bottles, clothes, cosmetics, paints, tires, and many, many more. Microplastics are diverse in shape and composition, so you got fibers, foam, fragments, beads.
Gee, I never thought of that. Jonah, I never thought of that.
Right? I mean, so, it's not just like the picture we showed in that study, but these fibers are in the air, in the clouds, they're floating, they're foam, they're stringy, they're fibers of clothes, fragments, little micro, nanoplastics that break off from, containers and food that we eat plastics in, like you go to the deli and you get a sandwich from whatever, and they're in a plastic container, and the brand new container folded little plastic breaks off in your sandwich, and that stuff happens all the time. That's where that's all the plastic coming from. We live in a plastic environment. Really, I mean,
Now, this is of concern because the effects, which I
people are
really
even
want
putting plastic in their bodies. You still don't get out.
Right, that's another topic. I mean, like medical products that are in your body that are plastic, giving off
Like plastic
silicone,
your culo, yeah, your blood figure, I mean,
breast implant, your culo,
plastic, and lots of problems with that. I mean, it's like,
partial Hispanic house, so it's culo, or is that Italian? I don't know.
no, it's kind of.
But we don't have, so I want to get to some ways, I want to get to the solutions, but here in the lower right-hand corner is really of biggest concern. You can actually get DNA changes. You get damage at the cellular level, which then sets you up for systemic inflammation. So just take a minute on that, because I want to get to the solutions.
And that let's focus on that. Inflammation, the root of all things. Inflammation. So again, plastics in the blood, in the arteries, in your heart, in your saliva, your lungs. This is inundated. Inundated. And I think also this is why there's not many companies out there. I haven't seen any really that are selling a product to help with this. I haven't.
Well, let me tell you why. Because it's natural treatments and cures that they cannot make money on because they cannot patent unless they bastardize it with some kind of artificial thing. So that's why we're here. But let's start talking about some of the basic things you can do in your home, and then some ways that we can escort this out of our bodies.
Yeah, so I mean, obviously, you could use air filtration systems, like I know you have. I use them. I have 4 in here in the co-op. I must have 5 in the house.
Wow.
Every room has it. We have some really good ones like you use, that have good sensors on it, that pick up everything. That's first and foremost. Everyone should have some sort of air filtration system
In the house, yes.
Huge.
Okay.
Always use glass. Always use glass. I always use glass.
You do.
All of my beverages are in glass. I don't have anything plastic. If I buy it plastic, which sometimes you just have to, we pour it right into glass right away. Even food, leftover food, all glass, you know, bamboo tops.
Yeah. Oh.
You know, it's yeah, we have
Oh.
glass.
Or
chairs with
stainless
bamboo
steel,
tops.
or stainless steel.
Stainless steel cutting boards. Don't use plastic cutting boards. You're
No.
cutting with a knife, but you know, the plastic ones. I mean, plastic utensils. We use wood, fork, spoons. You've been to our house, you've seen it. We use wood, everything. Wood plates. We don't, you know, plastic. We've ejected as much as we can out of our lives. We even got a glass baby bottle for the baby, and it had a glass nipple on it. We found that on Etsy. I mean, these things are hard to find too, but like, you gotta really, you know, again, be vigilant because the plastic war is on.
Good point. I mean, the baby's bottle nipple is plastic for, you know, decades. And these babies are, oh my gosh, never even thought of that.
Exactly. Yeah, so you gotta be vigilant. Think of this stuff. This chart is really, it gives you a little idea of how many different areas that this stuff is coming from, and it's across the board. It's contamination central, you know, here. So you gotta be vigilant. The greatest things that we talk about, you know, on the show, and I'll bring it up, is the quantum binder powder that we just came out with. That's because the binder powder literally absorbs the suction toxins out of your body, and you combine that with something else called terpenes, which we came out with a product, which helps dissolve the plastics and also eject the plastics out of your body. That is a great start to help detox this. There's all sorts of plant terpenes that are found around the world. We get organic plant terpenes, and we make a terpene product that helps dissolve the microplastics and then also eject them from out of your body. So these terpenes go into your blood, into your system. They either will melt the plastic, which will then excrete out by either your feces or, you know, that would be, and also through mucus as well. We've had, you know, mucus stuff comes up. When you're detoxing, it doesn't always feel good. You may get a headache, you may get a stomach ache, you may get, you know, runny noses. That's your body ejecting this stuff out of you. It's perfectly normal.
Okay.
So, you know, all these are different ways to do it, but you need to take some sort of supplement, like the, I'm going to show you, the quantum detox binder powder that we have. This is phenomenal. Activated charcoal, coconuts, zeolite, bentonite clay, at the top. Literally, you can find anywhere in the world that detoxes the toxic heavy metals as well, not just plastics, but plastics, and you mix that with the quantum terps, which these terpenes are super, this is a great product, but you only need to take it twice a week, 3 times a week. So if you're listening to this, get a bottle for your son and daughter or your grandparents or whatever. Like you put in food or water and drink it, you just have to take it a couple times a week for maintenance. Amazing product will help you detox out.
What is it? So what are,
And these are
we
organic.
actually did talk about terpenes as naturally occurring substances, but you've got them concentrated in, okay.
Yeah, terpenes are plant derived, these all organic plant terpenes. I picked them out of Oregon. It's the best company in the U.S. I found. There's promotion here in the U.S. Made this U.S. made product, made it in-house in our lab. And what this does is mainly for microplastics, but it also does toxins, heavy metals, and everything else that is foreign to the body. But you mix it with the binder you take it before you sleep, so at night it's absorbing everything. And then you wake up in the morning, you take this, you can also take it second time throughout the day. And
Everything's
these are
good?
the top things that we have to help
There's this problem.
out of the body. And I haven't
Talk
seen
about-
anything better than this on the market. I haven't really seen any other products.
Something to do with toxins, you missed it.
Your show, launching this,
That's charcoal and coconut, one of it though.
is really groundbreaking because you can see by these studies and these diagrams.
Plant Collective
Have plastic
.world/shop. Did I read it right?
here to help.
That's the shop you go to get their product. Find it sometime.
I swear by it. Yep. You used it, I used it, I took it yesterday, you know, started feeling a little scratchy in my throat from this fog that's been around, right? So I took like 2 drops of this, and look at today, feel great. Not 1 drop. True story, I use it all the time.
I do too.
Help with microplastics, use it.
Same experience too, by the way, something coming on,
Yeah.
I nebulize to clean my airway so it doesn't migrate down in, whatever is happening. And then I hit my methylene blue for about a week every morning. But you're right, within the first 24 hours, I wake up the next day going, that thing that was kind of creepy up on me is gone.
We hear it all the time. We have people writing us, and you know, I always tell them what I would do if it was me recommend, and they do it, and within one day, I mean, this doesn't allow viruses to attach to immune receptors. We went over those studies on the show before last year. This is the real deal. You have the highest grade. There's 5 different grades. Not the cheap stuff on Amazon. This is the highest grade. This is the crystal blue grade. They don't sell this on Amazon.
This is what you take. Yeah, that's your key. It's what you take. And I want to make a couple of comments, Jonah, just to sort of for the audience. On the issue of viruses, I take a very midline neutral stance. There are really some very well credentialed people, brilliant people that don't believe that they exist. I happen to be on the side in the middle where I think that there are
What's
things
that
that are
mean?
created by the government in silico, you know, in labs that are virus-like. They're which is more like a leech, you know, like a parasitic
That's evil.
relationship.
You know,
And they're
that's
probably
been there
a combination
locally.
of biomaterial as well as, you know, synthetic things. But
So this product's natural?
Virus theory. So I wouldn't get caught up in, is there virus, you know, Jonah talks about viruses. He's leaving it wide open for any way that can, attack our bodies, especially with this wayward government. And then the other thing I wanted to say that's really exciting is, you always, when you have something new, too, which, you know, you launch it on the show, so as of airtime tonight, when you finish watching the show, when you go to quantumcollective.world, Jonah will have launched a bundle. I love bundles because I like to get, for a little less money, I like to get, you know, a few things. It's like my goodie bag of health and protection. So what do you have a bundle for this, for 2 bundle options?
Yeah, we're gonna be on the quantum binder with the Turks, of course. This is the #1 thing we found in the world for microplastics. And then, of course, the methylene blue, which is our favorite. We sell a ton of it. Animals can use it. Your loved ones.
That's good to know.
Yeah, of course, we get all the time. Dogs, cats. I mean, all my
We
animals
used to
take
get
the
it in
chickens,
Castle.
ducks, all my animals take the blue. My bird. You know, everyone takes the blue.
Can I say something about that? Because I hope you won't mind me.
Here's the
at
promo
a
code.
personal
It'll be
level.
10% off, it says.
At the co-op
Yeah, the one that
the
said
other
this-
day, and I was visiting with Ariana,
5 or 6 months ago.
your wife,
Probably
and
not.
partner in this, you know, venture.
Oh, he sells
And
not.
you,
I
as
find
you
out
said in the
more
last show,
recent program.
you have several
Oh.
dogs, you're breeding,
My
dogs
health.
for yourself, for security.
So what's the
for other
original
properties
stuff?
and things like that in your family and among your owners.
Remember, I was saying,
The point is, there were a couple of the dogs that had given birth that were still breastfeeding, and, you know, we were,
it's not
I
the
was
original,
noting to
was the
Ariana
first.
how healthy the moms are, and, you know, of course, the babies are breastfeeding, but their color's beautiful, their energy is super high, and they're breastfeeding, you know, 6, 8, 10 pups, and she said, well, you know, she reminded me, she said, you know, we give them the same foods and supplements, you know, that we talk about, that we have in the co-op, and I'm like, yeah, duh, why would, you wouldn't go to, like, you know, when I walk into a pet store and I see, oh, here's natural food or the real food for your animal, I'm thinking, why do I need it from here? Why don't we just give them the good, organic, healthy things? And we might give our pets
Well,
twice as long. But
veterinarian.
I just thought that was
Operated
interesting.
by
And you're
Charlie.
right.
He said
Why
other
wouldn't
things
you
you
live
need,
like that?
gentleman
Why
brought.
wouldn't you give your pets
I
and
said,
all the
"Can
animals
you
in your
give her
life?
a- oh, yeah,
Especially because they
absolutely.
give us so much.
Yeah,
Oh.
they
I think he's wrong. He looks kinda weird.
love the boulder and
But they
His
did,
eyes are all bugged out, his face mask on.
well, they did operate it on him. Well, yes,
Yeah, they charged us.
the operation.
Charged us too. Almost $3,000.
He was neutered too young to get
But
it.
they do
That's
us
what
that
I'm not paying off.
That's what the vet said, that Charlie been neutered too young to get it.
Yeah, no, I think,
clean.
I think organic food was.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Bob was, you know, and us, we kinda worried though.
For the rest of us
I
to
wouldn't
see
give him bigger dog
how
food.
you guys, you know, live with your animals.
We're kinda worried about his urine stopped
That's
up or
I was
whatever.
wondering that up. So, okay, so.
That's the
this is
thing, cause they
great.
operated
You know,
on
after
him.
the first microplastics,
I think it's already been operated.
they had questions, you know, how do I do this? You know, how many, should I use it every day or not? And I think you've answered a lot of great.
I don't know if
things
it'll
tonight.
still work
So
for him
anything you
though.
want people to know, take a minute or two before we say goodbye.
Probably too late, it might stop up on him still. Chris okay. She has her own veterinarian too. You mean experts? Oh, they know. Experts like veterinarians usually know. For cats, they should know about the pets. What do you do? Just find the right vet? You do that? But that'd be hard to find. Probably expensive. Man. Anyway.
Where do you go? So he's smart. He's, preemptively protect himself. Yeah, that's a incredible story. Our prayers go out to everyone.
I'd have to figure out how to put it in here, what kind of soil it is.
I mean, I have to have a garden.
I showed Nana the funny and said,
Oh, thank you, Mom. I got to see it too.
here we go.
Well,
Rolled in the aisle over here. Okay, this is really funny because here I'm seeing
you know what I was watching about plastics. He got distracted in that. He wants a garden though. Letting you know.
it's winter time now.
Yeah.
Okay.
But we want to be healthy, that's true. Right, Mom?
Yeah, I'm feeling healthy now.
But I don't worry about it. So, well,
Yeah.
it's a nice thing. And enjoy the food, yeah. Same with me. I don't worry about what I eat either. Otherwise.
Yeah, you have to.
Oh yeah. I know. Well, right. Oh, I'm sorry.